Before the riot starts, I drop another Pale Jackal video. Jokes aside, I am very happy that you guys want to see our little channel baby here. Today we turn these HEADTAKERS into Chaos Space Marines. But first let's throw away the doggos because there are no wolves within the Pale Jackals. After that was established, I removed the chest iconography with my hobby knife. And can anybody tell me why these are rusting so fast? I used this one only one time and it already looks like it does poison damage, even though the blade is not even a week old. Anyway, we have to live with that today. I glued the miniatures together as they are intended, but left the arms off for now. The main job will be using Chaos Warriors shields instead of these small bucklers. Now these ones really justify the 4+ invulnerable save. The only thing to do here is to get rid of all the unnecessary bits that fly somewhere around these, as well as the old handles if they have some. I take this few seconds to thank my amazing patrons and channel members for their continued support. More on that later. And after successfully removing the handles, I cleaned the shield as good as possible with my rusty hobby knife and went on with the according arms. The left ones always have these little knobs, which I just plainly removed so it fits closer to the shield itself. And after dry fitting, I put on a ball of green stuff and super glue to connect arm to shield. And after that, I connected shield to torso, for which I switched a little around, giving each of these 3 members the best suitable shield. And that's exactly why this one has a shield with horns now. And to make him look even cooler, he will get a Chaos Knight's axe, one that looks astonishingly brutal in my opinion. I just cut away the upper arm as much as needed, so it actually fits under his pauldron without making him look like a gorilla. And after that I again used a blob of green stuff and a little bit of super glue so that I could rotate it a little and find the best suitable place. I also would like to encourage you to leave a like or a subscription if you like content like this, as it really helps the channel grow so I could build even crazier things in 2026. But back to the content. After that he got a generic Chaos Space Marine back module and a generic Chaos Space Marine helmet and will sit and wait for his next enhancements. While the first one waits, I go on with the next one who basically got the same treatment. Cut away his upper arm and shoulder joint, replace it with green stuff, gluing it back on and hoping that YouTube recognizes that I am talking about a plastic miniature and not a real person. Because some sentence I say shouldn't really be taken out of context. He also got his back module in a weird spinning motion and also the head of a normal Chaos Space Marine Legionnaire, because I just really like these ones. And now onto the leader. The leader of that squad should stand out a little more, so he gets a spear of a Chaos Knight, because spears are cool. The old ones have this nasty mold lines, which I took care of using my rusty hobby knife. Once again an arm removal operation, so it looks like he's holding his spear and bashing with his shield. He also gets the head of a Night Lord, but one without the wings attached to it. And of course a back module. A fitting one for a leader figure. And when that was in place, it was time to give these dudes some more details, some more character so to say. Apart from being dirty, white and canine themed, the Pale Jackals are also defined by being a little bit tribalistic and occult. To represent that, he gets the simplest of chaos stars I had laying around for his back module. And the mace wielding one has some other things for his one. So after I cut away the horns of the back module, I replaced them with some bigger ones. And talking about the bigger ones, that's exactly what the third one gets, matching the horns on his shield. After that, I redefined the green stuff under their arms and used these chains that easily could represent something like flash hooks and chains to drag some hunted stuff with you. I shoved them under the leader's cape and glued them into place. After that, I took some smaller ones and also placed them near towards the big chain, and once that's done, I thought I needed an excuse for their name. And as the headtakers don't have more than just their own heads, I decided to give the leader at least another one. Droning on his pauldron. I only sculpted the fur around it a little and used superglue to hold it into place. Coming back to number 3, he gets a horn for his knee. Just if you ever have to bring a little more opinion into that kick. I found another bigger horn and glued it onto number 2's back module, slightly hanging over his head. And with that done, I gave these boys the usual Agrellan earth treatment, as well as some glass rocks, and started painting. I started with dark rust as an undercoat, because having a colorful undercoat makes a white armor look even better in my opinion. And the headtakers already have a lot of fur, which also is perfect to be painted with browns. The white armor starts with neutral gray, and someone asked me how to wet blend the armor to achieve that specific look. And I tried to answer that question today, but I'm already doing a painting guide for these dudes, where I talk about each of the steps. So after the entirety of that armor is covered in a coat of neutral gray, I use an about 50-50 mix of neutral gray and wolf gray for the next layer. This already brightens it up significantly and creates natural highlights, which are very important. I try to leave the spots that lay in a natural shadow in a darker tone, like the inside of his legs and the underside of his arms. Basically everything that faces towards the ground. The most important part is that I want to make sure that the colors actually mix up on the miniature itself. And once I was happy with the grey, I took out the pure white and painted the highlighted parts like the chin guard and the chest. And after that, the chaos trim and some other parts get a coat of Pro Acryl's dark bronze, and some tubes and chains as well as the arms and leg joints get a coat of Pro Acryl's dark silver. And when all that was dry, I used Pro Acryl's jade that I watered down to a shade-like consistency. This really is one of the key elements of the paint scheme, and this blue-greenish paint works incredibly well when watered down, easily being one of my favorite colors. But enough talk, let's shade these parts again with Vallejo's Game Wash Black. And when that was done, it was time to paint the fur with burnt red and parasite brown, creating this red-golden, live-looking fur. I also used the same colors but watered down to paint the dirt effects. This ties the miniatures together even more. And when that is done, I shade all over these parts with Vallejo's Game Wash Sepia. This also brings the browns together and creates a yellowish hue that is ever so subtle, laying over the miniature. And to highlight the fur, I use Parasite Brown. And for the eyes and weapons, I used Gory Red, followed by a 50-50 mix of Gory Red and White for the most brightest points. Like the insides of the eyes and the insides of the weapon itself. And after that, I only touched up some of the golden parts with Pro Acryl's light bronze and called it done. And here we have them. 3 more line pale jackets, anonymous and currently without a role, at least for now. I hope we as Chaos players get something like a blade guard, like the flawless blades or these corn ones with the bloodletter inside, or whatever their lore is. And if not, I just have cool miniatures, which is not at all a problem for me. But I have planned something big for the Pale Jackets. A lore video is already scripted and currently overworked, reducing as many plot holes as possible, and there will be at least 2 big demon engines in this year. And if you want to help creating the biggest of them all, which I will try to have placed as a display somewhere around my town, you can help get this channel a Warhound Titan. Built for the Pale Jackets. Or captured. We will see. In the meantime, I work on the Pale Jackets line inventory, normal Chaos Astartes, Corrupted, Tribalistic, Occult and maybe a little bitter. As bitter as the end of this video. So I hope to see you in the next one!